If you stood face to face with a creature 3 times taller than your house, would you call it a monster or a miracle? Fossils, skeletons, ruins, they have always awakened awe and fear. Before science, humans found enormous bones or strange skeleton parts and asked, what monster could this belong to? Often they guessed giants, dragons, titans. Later, paleontology revealed creatures far stranger, and sometimes far larger than any myth. Today, the fossil record is more complete than ever. Imagine a night in ancient Cuba. The moon slips behind a cloud. There's silence until a rustle in the cave. A massive owl, nearly as tall as a small human, steps out, long legs moving through cave debris, eyes gleaming in dim light. To early tribes, this might have been a demon owl, creature of legends, something born of nightmares. That's Ornimegalonyx o. Oteroi, the largest owl ever confirmed. A giant Pleistocene owl from Cuba, it stood roughly 1.1 meters, approximately 3 feet 7 inches, tall, taller than almost any owl alive today. It lived during the late Pleistocene, between about 126,000 to 11,700 years ago. Fossils found in cave deposits across Cuba reveal powerful legs, massive feet with strong talons, and a body built bulky and robust. It likely spent much of its time on the ground, perhaps only flying short distances when needed. Its skeleton misled early researchers because of the size and robustness of its leg and foot bones. Ornimegalonyx was once mistaken for a giant predatory bird far different in form, until later research identified it clearly as a giant owl. What might people have made of such a creature? A giant owl in the night with talons able to crush. Animals of moderate size, some prey were large rodents or small sloths, feet adapted for running. Ornimegalonyx would be an impressive predator, seeing large footprints, hearing rustling in caves, or discovering huge talon bones could easily spawn stories of monster owls, demon birds, guardians of caves, or evil watchers in dark woods. Legend often exaggerates. Maybe the owl was thought to fly great distances, or its screech was magnified in oral relays. But the facts are chilling. Ornimegalonyx was real, built for hunting, with strength in legs and claws. It was the kind of owl that could stalk night creatures from ground level, then suddenly lunge. The mythic owl isn't just a sight-scary image. Ornimegalonyx shows us that sometimes what we fear in the dark was once flesh and feathers. In caves, fossils, shadows, the stories align with biology. A giant owl, long gone, but its echoes live in legend. Legends of colossal serpents, snakes so massive they could swallow boats, crush crocodiles, or haunt rivers like living monsters, echo around the world. What if one of those legends, and fear-filled tales, wasn't purely imaginary? Meet Titanoboa carahonensis, the largest snake ever discovered. It slithered through what is now northeastern Colombia about 60 million years ago, during the Paleocene epoch. Scientists first found its fossils in the Carajon coal mines. Titanoboa could reach lengths of about 12.8 meters, approximately 42 feet, perhaps even up to 14.3 meters, approximately 47 to 48 feet, and weigh more than 1,100 kilograms, over a ton. Its circumference at the thickest point might have been over 1 meter, making it thicker than many modern snakes. It wasn't venomous, it killed by constriction, squeezing prey to death. In its swampy tropical rainforest environment, Titanoboa likely preyed on large fish, turtles, and possibly small crocodile relatives. Its anatomy, including skull and teeth structure, shows adaptations that support fish eating. Why does Titanoboa feel mythic? Because it nearly is. To someone who has never seen a snake longer than a few meters, to imagine something 40+ feet long that can coil, crush, and dominate its environment is terrifying. Early fossil fragments, vertebrae, ribs, would seem otherworldly. Every giant vertebra could spark stories of river monsters or cloud gods in human tales. The extreme size, weight, strength, these are things myth is made of. There's also climate behind this mega snake story. Titanoboa lived in a time when Earth was hotter, CO2 levels were higher, and tropical forests were vast. Such conditions helped cold-blooded animals like this snake achieve sizes that would be impossible in cooler regions. Titanoboa is real. No legend needed. Bones prove it. And yet, its existence seems like myth, the stuff of nightmares and hidden rivers. It reminds us that sometimes truth can look unbelievable, but every fossil is proof that giants once existed. When myths speak of monstrous bears, giants that tower, that shake the earth with each step, you might think they belong in fairy tales. But one bear really lived that seemed to match those legends. Meet Arctotherium angustidens, an extinct short-faced bear from the Pleistocene of Central and South America. It's considered by many paleontologists to be one of the largest, if not the largest, terrestrial carnivore that ever lived. How massive was it? Estimates suggest that A. angustidens weighed between roughly 1,500 to 1,800 kilograms, approximately 3,300 to 4,000 pounds in its prime. When standing upright on its hind legs, it could reach up to 3.4 to 4.3 meters, approximately 11.2 to 14 feet, tall. Its habitat spanned the open plains and semi-arid pampas east of the Andes, in today's Argentina, Bolivia, Uruguay, and even parts of Brazil. Different species in the Arctotherium genus evolved over time. The largest size is seen in A. angustidens, with later species being somewhat smaller. What did it eat? While all bears are opportunists, A. angustidens appears from isotopic studies to have been quite carnivorous, hunting or scavenging megafauna, including giant herbivores. Its teeth show wear consistent with both meat and bone consumption. Other species of Arctotherium show more omnivorous or even partly herbivorous diets. Imagine being an early human in Patagonia, finding giant paw prints, huge bones, or even partial skeletons sticking out in shallow ground. Limited scientific knowledge could easily turn these into tales of bear giants, demons, or monsters. The sheer size of those bones, and the idea of a bear that could stand taller than most humans when upright, could become legend fast. Arctotherium reminds us that some giants weren't myth, they were flesh and bone. Real creatures, immense size, stories born from what people saw, touched, feared. Giants, yes, but ones we can actually prove existed. We've uncovered 6 mythical giants, from colossal birds to monstrous bears, that once walked, swam, or soared through our world. These weren't just stories, they were echoes of reality. So, what other legends might be rooted in truth? If you're hungry for more real monsters behind ancient myths, hit like, subscribe, and join the hunt. And tell me in the comments, which of these giant creatures shocked you the most? We're just getting started.